In this session of Parliament, the government will introduce a cohesive strategy that will address the challenges and find the solutions that will restore harmony and prosperity to Bermuda's people. Madam President and members of the Senate, Mr. Speaker, members of the House of Assembly, the government concurs with the philosophy of Sir Winston Churchill, who said that he never worried about action, only about inaction. A strong bias for action underpins the stimulus program that the government is announcing today. The program will help reignite demand for Bermuda-based human capital. The plan makes clear that job creation is job one. Your government is committed not to job creation soon or job creation as soon as possible, but to job creation now. While job creation remains its top priority, the government's stimulus plan will also address the needs of citizens in a great many other areas. These include the provision of support to those experiencing hardship, legislation that will address family issues, initiatives that will benefit seniors, measures in support of education, public safety and justice, steps that will help strengthen the economy, and plans to continue to transform the government and strengthen its ability to deliver value for money to its taxpayers. Some commentators are of the opinion that time is on our side and that the United States of America will soon be forced to introduce further growth-generating measures which will indirectly assist the Bermuda economy. Your government does not intend to wait. It is committed now to taking bold steps of its own in order to encourage employment. Such action is not only required in order to assist Bermudian families, it is also, lest it is forgotten, a central and enduring element of the social contract implicit in the Progressive Labour Party's election victory of 1998. Madam President and members of the Senate, Mr. Speaker and members of the House of Assembly, spearheading the government's national job stimulus plan is the Job Corps program and a new one-stop career centre. Of equal importance is the drawing up of new workforce development legislation and modification of the existing employment laws. Some provisions of these employment laws have been shown to have the unintended effect of encouraging the hiring of non-Bermudians over Bermudians. In the current economic environment, the need to change these laws now takes on a special sense of urgency. The Bermuda adaptation of the Job Corps program, recommended in the Mincy report, will provide eligible Bermudians aged 16 and over with free education and training designed to equip them to compete for stable, long-term, well-paid careers. By integrating the teaching of academic knowledge, vocational and employability skills and social competences, the Job Corps scheme will provide students with classroom theory and practical learning experiences that will contribute to success in the workforce and in life. The Job Corps program will come into full effect in the second quarter of 2012. It will be managed by a partnership between the government and the private sector. Such partnerships must be the wave of the future. This initiative could not have been progressed as far as it has without the participation of companies such as Axis, Renaissance Reinsurance, Atlantic Philanthropies, and HSBC Bermuda. However, the government is not waiting for the implementation of the Job Corps initiative to begin to provide opportunities to unemployed young people. It recognizes the need to provide assistance now to those between the ages of 18 and 25. The government is pleased to announce that the Try-30 Work Experience Initiative is currently underway. Under the energy and auspices of the Ministry of Community Development, Try-30 began on 26 September this year and will run until December this year, 2011, providing work for about 30 young people for a 3-month period. This program enables these young people to reset their personal dialogue profiles by providing a jump start to entry-level jobs. Thanks to the synergy between private and public partnerships, participants are also provided with some work training courses. These include preparatory workshops covering such topics as work ethics and time management. Madam President and members of the Senate, Mr. Speaker and members of the House of Assembly, another employment measure for young people to be announced shortly is the YES initiative, named after the initials of the Youth Empowerment Scheme. This is intended to help young unemployed persons secure jobs as part of the work crew undertaking renovations on the Springfield National Trust property that the Department of Youth, Sport and Recreation operate on a long-term lease as the Sands Community Centre. The One-Stop Career Centre will see the merger of the National Training Board and the Department of Labour and Training. This has been identified as a priority in order to meet more efficiently the needs of both job seekers and employers. The Centre will be an active participant in the Job Corps programme, assisting successful graduates of the programme to find gainful employment. It will coordinate with the unit that processes work permits, ensuring that work permits will only be granted after the Career Centre has confirmed that there are no suitably qualified Bermudians available for a position. In addition, all unemployed clients of the Financial Assistance Department who are able to work will automatically become clients of the One-Stop Career Centre, which will assist in obtaining employment for those persons so that they can re-enter the job market as soon as possible. The workplace has changed dramatically in the last 2 decades. Many job categories have already gone the way of the dinosaur, while new categories are being created. These new jobs require different skills. For example, information technology is on the leading edge of job creation. There's an urgent need for the training and a retraining of Bermudian workers to equip them to take advantage of these opportunities. The government is pleased to share the fact that it is engaged in advanced discussions with Cisco Systems, the worldwide leader in networking products and services, for the establishment of a Cisco Academy here in Bermuda. This facility will provide certified training for Bermudians and prepare them for work in the IT industry. This is yet another avenue the government has worked hard to open as it continues to ensure that Bermuda's young people are equipped to become fully fledged members of the skilled workforce in today's knowledge-based world economy. While the government can provide the programs to prepare people for work, it must be remembered that it is not the government that creates jobs. Private industry creates demand for jobs that add economic value and drive development. The government provides the enabling environment for private job sector creation. The government will table a bill in the first session of Parliament to provide work permit exemptions and permanent residence to eligible job creators in businesses that, among other criteria, have a significant number of Bermudians represented at all levels in the organization, and provide entry-level positions to young Bermudians graduating from high school and college. Government is committed to protecting the interests of Bermudians and the key sectors of the economy that provide jobs and other significant economic benefits to Bermuda. Madam President and members of the Senate, Mr. Speaker and members of the House of Assembly, it was stated in the 2010 throne speech that immigration legislation, which dates from 1956, is to receive a major overhaul. This has been done in phases. A land policy review group has been empaneled to review the various policies on land holding and disposition in Bermuda, with particular emphasis on permanent resident certificate holders and the foreign purchaser market. In addition, this year the government will focus on outlawing sham marriages and will remove legal barriers denying home ownership to non-Bermudian members of Bermudian families. At the same time, legislation will be amended to remove certain incentives that allow employers to choose to hire non-Bermudians over Bermudians because they do not have to pay social insurance for persons on temporary work permits or include work permit holders in occupational pension schemes. At a time when there is a disturbing level of unemployment, there is a greater need for more robust measures that protect Bermudians and encourage their employment. Madam President and members of the Senate, Mr. Speaker and members of the House of Assembly, the government views its responsibility for sustaining Bermuda's and indeed the planet's environment as a sacred trust. It is currently developing a national infrastructure strategy for Bermuda, which will be completed before the end of this calendar year. A key component of the infrastructure strategy is the development of the waterfront in the city of Hamilton. The government, the Corporation of Hamilton, and the private sector under the auspices of Bermuda First have formed a steering group to drive forward this exciting project. The development will generate jobs and transform the waterfront in a manner that preserves its stunning beauty while creating a dynamic new hub for business and entertainment. Green initiatives are the waves of the future, with rich potential to create new jobs and opportunities for entrepreneurs. In this session of Parliament, the government will introduce legislation and policies required to implement the innovative measures contained in the Energy White Paper. Turning to initiatives impacting the economy in general, it was Bill Gates who said that we tend to overestimate the change that will occur in the next couple of years, but often underestimate the change that could occur in the next 10 years. Taking that admonition regarding long-range planning, taking that to heart, the government will table legislation to encourage further foreign investment in Bermuda. Foreign investment is associated with the transfer of technology, job creation, and maintaining a competitive edge in areas of comparative advantage. A review of the Companies Act 1981 has been undertaken. In particular, the 60-40 ownership regulation was examined with the express aim of finding ways to allow local businesses easier access to capital. While the 60-40 provision is generally thought to have served Bermuda well over the years, now there is a strong view that it could be blocking businesses from access to foreign direct investment. Previously, when discussions were held, there was both more resistance and a more protectionist stance adopted by stakeholders. That has changed. Given today's economic landscape, there is apparent agreement between all business sectors that they need greater access to capital. In effect, today's mantra now states, "Free up Bermuda." The government believes it is also time to review Bermuda's ability to attract and service those who are investing or are interested in investing in the country. As a result, the government will soon launch an interagency partnership that will provide a rapid response capability in support of plans and projects considered economically important to Bermuda. In a phrase, the unit will provide more red carpet and less red tape. In the same vein, the Ministry of Business Development and Tourism will modernize and streamline the current system of vetting corporate registrations and share transfers. On the international business front, plans are in development to market actively Bermuda as a jurisdiction for Islamic finance. Interest has been expressed already at the recent Business Bermuda briefing in New York, where details of the work being done by the Islamic Finance Task Force were shared. Coincident with this exciting development, there is now the possibility of new air links, with Emirates Airlines connecting Bermuda to dynamic and wealthy states in the Middle East, including Dubai, Bahrain, and Qatar. The government recognizes the importance of diversifying the economy, as Bermuda must attract new sources of revenue. Islamic finance, asset management, and green initiatives are all part of a new and enhanced model.